I stared at the bank statement in my hands, our joint savings account, the one we'd built together penny by penny. Empty. My name is David Martinez. I'm 45 years old. I've worked at the same tech company for 18 years. I thought I knew my wife. I was wrong. The statement showed a single withdrawal, $57,000, our entire nest egg, gone. My hand shook as I reached for my phone, called the bank. The automated voice confirmed what the paper already told me. The withdrawal was legitimate, made by my wife yesterday. I sat in my home office, surrounded by family photos. Our wedding day, our anniversary trips. Her smile looked different now, like she was keeping secrets even then. The front door opened downstairs. Her heels clicked against the hardwood floor. "David, you home early?" I couldn't answer. My throat felt like sandpaper. She climbed the stairs. Each step echoed through the house, through my chest. "There you are." She appeared in the doorway, still beautiful at 42, still the woman I'd fallen in love with in college. "How was your day?" I held up the bank statement. Her face went pale, then red, then blank. "We need to talk," I said. She sat down across from me, folded her hands in her lap, like a child caught stealing cookies. "His name is Marcus," she said quietly. "We met at the coffee shop downtown 3 months ago." 3 months. I'd been working late every night for 3 months, trying to secure a promotion, trying to build our future. "He has this incredible business idea," she continued, "a revolutionary app that connects local artists with buyers. He just needed startup capital." Our startup capital. "David, you don't understand. This could change everything. When his company takes off, we'll get 10 times our investment back." I laughed, actually laughed. The sound came out broken and bitter. "You gave our life savings to a man you've known for 3 months. I gave it to the man I love." The words hit me like a physical blow. I doubled over in my chair. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't mean for it to happen this way." "What way did you mean for it to happen?" She had no answer for that. That night, she packed a bag, said she was staying with her sister. We both knew she was lying. I didn't sleep. I paced the house like a ghost. Every room held memories that now felt poisoned. By morning, I'd made a decision. I wasn't going down without a fight. I called in sick to work. First time in 5 years. My boss, Janet, sounded concerned. "Everything okay, David? You never take sick days." "Family emergency." It wasn't really a lie. I spent the morning researching. Marcus Thompson, 28 years old, business degree from a community college. 3 failed startups in the past 5 years. The pattern was always the same. Big promises, investor money, spectacular failure. My wife wasn't his first victim. She was just his latest. Found his LinkedIn profile, his company website, Art Connect Solutions. The design looked professional, expensive, probably cost more than most people make in a month. I dug deeper, found the business registration, filed just 2 weeks ago, right around the time our money disappeared. My phone buzzed. A text from my wife. "Can we meet for coffee? I want to explain everything." I stared at the message for 10 minutes, then typed back. "The same coffee shop where you met him?" "Yes, 2 o'clock." I arrived early, chose a table in the corner, watched the door. She walked in at exactly 2 o'clock, looked around nervously, spotted me, approached slowly. "Thank you for coming." I gestured to the empty chair. She sat down. "I've been thinking all night," she said, "about us, about what I've done. And I can't undo it, David. The money's already invested, but I truly believe this will work out for both of us." "Where is he?" "Who?" "Marcus, your business partner. Your lover." She flinched at the last word. "He's at his office, working on the app development." "Show me." "What?" "Show me this revolutionary app. Show me where our money went." She hesitated, pulled out her phone, scrolled through her contacts. Hit call. It went straight to voicemail. "He's probably in meetings," she said quickly. I leaned forward, kept my voice low. "How much do you actually know about this man?" "Enough." "Do you know about his previous companies? Data flow innovations? Creative marketing solutions? Both dissolved within 18 months. Both left investors with nothing. Her confidence wavered. That's impossible. He showed me his business plan, his projections. Anyone can make a PowerPoint presentation. She tried calling Marcus again. Still voicemail. There has to be an explanation. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. There is an explanation. You've been conned. She stood up abruptly, chair scraped against the floor. I won't listen to this. Marcus loves me. He's building something real. Then prove it. Take me to his office. She stared at me for a long moment, then nodded. Fine. You'll see. We drove separately, followed her car downtown to a sleek office building, 20 stories of glass and steel. The directory in the lobby listed dozens of companies. Art Connect Solutions wasn't one of them. Maybe they haven't updated it yet, she said. We took the elevator to the 15th floor, the floor Marcus had supposedly rented. The entire floor was empty. Bare walls, carpet stains, a few abandoned desks. This can't be right, she whispered. Found the building manager, a tired-looking man in his 60s. Art Connect Solutions? He shook his head. Never heard of them. This floor's been vacant for 3 months. My wife's face crumbled. We rode the elevator down in silence. Walked to our cars without speaking. I'll find him, she said finally. There has to be an explanation. I drove home alone. That evening I made another decision, one that would change everything. I opened my laptop, started researching business licenses, corporate filings, investment opportunities. If Marcus Thompson thought he could disappear with our money, he was wrong. I had advantages he didn't know about, 18 years in tech, connections throughout the industry, and something Marcus clearly lacked. Patience. My phone rang, my wife. David, I can't reach him. His phone's disconnected. His apartment's empty. I'm sorry, I said, and meant it. What do we do now? We move forward. I hung up before she could respond. The next morning I went back to work. Told Janet I needed to discuss something important. What's on your mind, David? I want to start a side business, something in the app development space. Her eyebrows rose. Janet had known me for 8 years. I wasn't the entrepreneurial type. What kind of app? Something that connects local artists with buyers. I think there's real potential in that market. She leaned back in her chair, studied my face. You'd need investors, startup capital. I have some ideas about that. Over the next 2 weeks, I threw myself into the project. Worked nights and weekends. Built a real business plan. Not Marcus's fantasy projections. Actual market research. Competitive analysis. Revenue models that made sense. I reached out to my network. Former colleagues who'd moved into venture capital. Tech executives looking for the next big thing. The response was encouraging. More than encouraging. 3 different investors expressed serious interest. One of them was particularly intrigued. This could be huge, David. When can you start development? I'm still looking for the right technical co-founder. That's when I made my move. I created a fake LinkedIn profile. Marcus Chen, recent graduate from Stanford. App development experience. Looking for exciting opportunities. Then I applied to every tech startup in the city, including one called Art Connect Solutions. The response came within hours. Marcus, your background is exactly what we're looking for. Can you meet tomorrow? The meeting location was a WeWork space across town, much more modest than the empty office building. I arrived as David Martinez, not Marcus Chen. I wanted to see his face when he realized who I was. The receptionist directed me to a small conference room. Glass walls, modern furniture, the kind of place that screamed startup without saying anything about actual business. Marcus Thompson was younger than his photos suggested, nervous energy, expensive clothes that didn't quite fit his personality. He looked up when I entered. Confusion flickered across his features. I'm sorry, I think there's been a mistake. I'm waiting for someone else. Marcus Chen? His confusion deepened. Yes, how did you? I'm David Martinez. The color drained from his face. I don't understand. My wife gave you $57,000. He started to stand. I gestured for him to sit back down. We need to talk. I should call security. You should listen. I pulled out my phone, showed him the business plan I'd developed, the investor interest, the real market research. This is what a legitimate startup looks like. He scanned the documents. His hand shook slightly. What do you want? I want to make you an offer. What kind of offer? I'm going to fund your company. He blinked, clearly not what he'd expected. I don't understand. Art Connect Solutions. It's actually a decent idea. Poorly executed, but decent. I leaned forward. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to invest $100,000 in your company. Real money, not stolen savings. Why would you do that? Because I believe in second chances. His relief was palpable. But there are conditions. The relief vanished. First, you return every penny you took from my wife, with interest. I can't do that. The money's already spent on fancy clothes and a fake office. I know. I slid a contract across the table. Second, I become majority partner, 60% ownership. That's not fair. Fair? You stole my life savings and broke up my marriage. He had no response to that. Third, my wife gets her job back. Her job? She's going to be our head of marketing, salary plus equity. I don't think that's a good idea. It's not negotiable. He stared at the contract, pages of legal text, real terms, real consequences. What if I say no? Then I file charges for fraud, and I launch my own competing app with better funding and a more experienced team. I showed him my phone, the investor commitments, the technical team I'd already assembled. Your choice, Marcus, partner or competitor. He signed the contract. 6 months later, Art Connect Solutions launched officially, real app, real functionality, real customers. The local arts community embraced it immediately. Gallery owners loved the streamlined buyer connections. Artists appreciated the fair commission structure. We were featured in the business section of the city newspaper. Local startup connects artists with global audience. My wife and I work together every day. Professional, cordial, slowly rebuilding trust. Marcus turned out to be a decent salesman when he wasn't running cons. He had genuine enthusiasm for the art world. Real connections with local galleries. The app took off faster than any of us expected. By month 9, we had users in 12 cities. Revenue was climbing steadily. The investors were happy. Marcus had paid back the original $57,000 plus 20% interest. My wife moved back home. We didn't talk about the affair. We focused on the business, on building something real together. One evening, Marcus stayed late to finish a presentation. Just the 3 of us in the office. David, he said quietly, can I ask you something? Sure. Why did you really do this? You could have destroyed me. I looked at my wife. She was watching us both carefully. Because destroying you wouldn't have fixed anything. But you made a mistake, a big one, but everyone deserves a chance to make it right. He nodded slowly. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. Thank me when we're all millionaires. We all laughed, real laughter, the kind that builds bridges instead of burning them. A year later, Art Connect Solutions was acquired by a major tech company. The purchase price was $12 million. My 60% stake netted me over $7 million. My wife's marketing equity was worth nearly $2 million. Even Marcus walked away with enough money to start fresh or retire early. We celebrated at the same coffee shop where my wife had first met him, where she'd asked me to meet her that terrible afternoon. To second chances, Marcus raised his glass. To making them count, my wife added. I looked around the table, at the woman I'd married 23 years ago, at the man who'd nearly destroyed our lives, to building something better than what we lost. We clinked glasses. Outside, the city hummed with evening traffic. Artists were heading home from galleries. Buyers were discovering new pieces through our app. Connections were being made. Real ones. My phone buzzed, a text from our lead investor. Congratulations on the exit. Ready for your next venture? I showed the message to my wife and Marcus. Well, my wife asked, are we? I thought about that first terrible morning, the empty bank account, the broken trust, the choice between revenge and redemption. Yeah, I said, I think we are. 6 months after the acquisition, we launched our second company. this time focusing on connecting musicians with venues. The funding round closed at $15 million. Marcus handles business development. My wife runs operations. I oversee product strategy. We're partners now, real partners, built on honesty instead of deception. Sometimes the best revenge is refusing to be destroyed by someone else's choices. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is offer a hand instead of a fist. My marriage is stronger now than it was before the affair. We talk more, trust harder, build together. Marcus sends us Christmas cards, photos of his new family, his legitimate business ventures. People ask me how I forgave them, how I moved past the betrayal. The truth is simple. I didn't move past it. I moved through it. I took the worst thing that ever happened to me and turned it into the best opportunity I ever had. That's not forgiveness. That's transformation. And sometimes transformation is the most powerful revenge of all.